Well, good Tuesday morning to you. We are still tracking the weather. Obviously, the big weather story today is the snow that's moving through parts of the Midlands and the Palmetto State. That's going to be the trend as we do move through the rest of your day. And we're also watching the very cold conditions, extremely cold weather this week. And really, that's the big thing, I think. Even though the snow gets all the headlines, the cold weather is really the dangerous part of this whole thing. There is that risk of frozen pipes with the extended cold weather. We are under a winter storm warning for at least parts of the Midlands and a winter weather advisory for other parts of the Midlands. We'll kind of break that down in a second, but we are under a cold weather advisory as well. That will continue until 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. Very cold wind chill values are expected. We could be in the single digits as far as those wind chill values are concerned. These cold conditions will continue through at least early parts of Thursday, dangerously cold conditions. So you do want to protect people, pets, pipes, plants, and as always, practice heating and fire safety because it is going to be cold. You're going to have to find those warm places to kind of stay sheltered from these very cold conditions. The other story obviously gets the most attention is the snow that's falling across the deep south. We have snow from parts of Texas through Louisiana, some heavy snow in Louisiana over towards Mississippi, even parts of Alabama into Georgia. We've had a few flurries being reported in and around the Midlands so far this morning. Got a report of some snow flurries in Chapin, some snow flurries in Blythewood up towards Anderson, and a little bit of snow flurries over towards Aiken County as well. We'll have a few flurries early this afternoon, it looks like, but as we get to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, those snow chances will start to increase as we go through the rest of your afternoon and into the evening hours. We are under a winter storm warning for the southern half of the Midlands. That warning continues all the way to the coastal region and even into the low country of South Carolina. So the winter storm warning still in effect for parts of the low country and parts of the Midlands, and the winter weather advisory is in effect for the other parts of the Midlands. So this afternoon through very early Wednesday, there will be some snow. Moderate to heavy snow is going to be possible. Slick roads can't be ruled out, especially as we get into this evening and tonight and tomorrow morning as well. If you absolutely have to be driving, you want to slow down, give yourself a little extra time. You don't want to drive your normal speed with the possibility for those slick roads. And this is according to NOAA. About 70% of snow and ice-related injuries occur in automobiles. So once again, if you have to be out, give yourself a little extra time and space and just slow down on those roads. Here's our current setup. We have the cold air in place. We have the low pressure system that's in the Gulf of Mexico. You see all that snow for parts of the Gulf Coast. And this low will be moving towards us as it does move towards us for the rest of the day. Chances for snow will continue to increase. So we'll pick things up this afternoon. It's about 2:15. This is the latest run of our forecast model showing that snow moving into parts of the Midlands. This is 3 o'clock. As we get to 5 o'clock, more snow. So if you are going to be traveling home this afternoon, just drive carefully, especially later this evening and tonight. Looking ahead towards 9 o'clock, the snow starts to come to a little bit of an end for at least parts of the Midlands. That's why we would expect lower amounts, especially in the northwestern parts of the Midlands. And then that snow continues to kind of end basically from, we'll say, northwest to southeast, 11 o'clock. And then after we get to past midnight or so, a few flurries still possible, but the majority of that snow is along and east of I-95. And then tomorrow morning, by the time the sun rises, the clouds will be out here. We'll have a lot of sunshine, but it appears it's still going to be pretty cold tomorrow. So, mentioned this just a second ago, the winter storm warning, that begins at 4 o'clock today. It does continue until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Aiken, Orangeburg, Calhoun, and Clarendon counties under this winter storm warning. So what can you expect if you're under this winter storm warning? Heavy snow, total snow accumulations 1 to 3 inches. That, according to the National Weather Service, roads and especially bridges and overpasses will likely become very slick. Could impact your commute. So that could impact your commute not only this evening and tonight, but tomorrow morning as well. Winter weather advisory in effect for Sumter, Richland, Lexington, Kershaw, Fairfield, Newberry, and Saluda counties. Same time frame, 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that will continue until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So you can expect about an inch, maybe a little bit more, likely in some spots. That would be snow. This is a snow event for us. Unlike last time we had the sleet, we had the freezing rain, and just a little bit of snowfall. This is a snow event for us. So you can plan on slippery roads where the winter weather advisory is in effect as well. Earlier today, blizzard warning in effect for parts of southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana. This is the first time this area has ever had a blizzard warning, but a little bit of a wider view shows all the winter weather advisories and the winter storm warnings. That pink color there is the winter storm warning, and it goes all the way from Texas up to parts of Virginia. So winter storm warning obviously in effect for at least the southern parts of the Midlands. Here's the latest forecast model, at least our in-house forecast model for the graph showing the snow. With the heavier snow, it kind of rides along and just south of I-20. So if you're looking at the numbers, it does look like 2, maybe up to 3 inches of snowfall for parts of the Midlands. Do believe the closer you get to the coast, the higher amounts will be. That's the that's the graph. This is the American model showing a little bit less for Columbia. The NAM really shows a lot of snow. It shows this heavier band kind of moving inland right along I-95. That's something to watch, but as of right now, this would be the outlier, but again, something to watch. Here's the graph, our in-house forecast model, showing that maybe, we'll say about an inch and a half, 2 inches. Here's the European model showing, I'll say reasonable amounts. The American model showing reasonable amounts. The NAM showing those higher amounts as indicating a bigger band kind of moving into parts of South Carolina. Here's the in-house forecast model, the graph, once again showing, I believe, what would be reasonable totals at this point. And the HRRR, this is another high resolution model, 2 to 3 inches of snow with some higher amounts in Orangeburg, and it shows some extreme amounts down in the low country of South Carolina. With all that being said, made this earlier today, this is what I would expect. And there could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less, obviously. Really depends on if you get one of these heavier bands kind of comes over your house, and you could get a little bit more. But I would think a best guess would be a dusting to an inch in this area, 1 to 2 inches in this area. It could have a little bit more in some locations, obviously. And then 1 to 3 in this, we'll say, bluish area. And then as you look down towards that purple area, that would be along the coastal region of South Carolina, 2 to 5. I think you could see a little bit more, especially where that winter storm warning is in effect. So that's what we'll be watching. Here's the NAM. I tell you what, this one's the one that did pretty good for the last snowstorm. So I know people are like, oh, we're pulling for the NAM. It does show a lot of snowfall over towards the eastern and southern half of the Midlands, right along I-95. Again, this is the outlier at this point. The rest of them are a little bit closer to each other. So the other ones are pretty close to this right here. This is the HRRR. That's another high resolution model. Our in-house high resolution model showing an inch or two with some higher amounts down towards Orangeburg. American model kind of in that same ballpark, and the European model still in that same kind of ballpark. So you'll notice the NAM forecast model is kind of showing a whole lot more. Again, we'll know which one performed better probably tomorrow at the same time. There will be some delays later today as that snow does fall, especially across the Gulf Coast states this evening as well, some delays. Weather-wise, as we go into tomorrow morning, the weather should be fine, but there will be some slick roads out there. That's going to be the case for tonight and tomorrow morning. Here's our forecast for today. Temperatures will struggle, it looks like, into maybe the low 30s. We'll go officially for a high of 34 degrees with snow showers later this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. Sunny skies tomorrow, so that should melt away some things, but notice low temperatures tomorrow morning, upper teens and low 20s. And then Thursday, we do warm up a little bit into the lower 40s, upper 40s by Friday. And temperature is not bad over the weekend, low 50s on Saturday, upper 50s on Sunday. Next best chance of precipitation after today comes in on Monday, and it'll be in the form of liquid at that point. If you're able to, we've gotten a few pictures from our weather watchers. Please send us some pictures. If you could safely shoot some pictures of the snow, we'll appreciate it. We've already gotten a few in-house, and that helps us tell the weather story a little bit better. But we are going to continue to monitor the cold weather. Risk of frozen pipes, obviously that's a big deal, but we're also watching that winter storm warning, which is in effect, and that winter weather advisory that is in effect as well. So take care of yourself, take care of your pets, take care of people that may not be able to take care of themselves, and we're going to continue to track this snow as it moves closer to the Palmetto State. Have a great Tuesday.